Welcome to Conspiracy Theories and Cover-Ups. I'm your host, Ben Carter, and in today's episode, we explore the intersection of cutting-edge technology, human ambition, and futuristic fears. With Elon Musk at the forefront of innovation, Neuralink and the possibility of an AI takeover have ignited debates that blur the lines between progress and peril. Prepare to dive into a world of radical ideas and whispered secrets that challenge our very future. Stay tuned. In the past few decades, technological advancements have reshaped every facet of human life, creating a backdrop where innovation and existential dread often intertwine. The rapid rise of artificial intelligence, combined with ambitious projects like Neuralink, has sparked both awe and apprehension across the globe. This period of unprecedented change can be traced back to the early days of computing and robotics, when the seeds of digital transformation were first sown. As computers evolved from simple machines to complex networks capable of mimicking human cognition, society's excitement about the future was tempered by fears of technology surpassing its creators. Politically, this era coincided with a heightened global awareness of cybersecurity threats and an increasing reliance on digital infrastructure. Governments around the world began investing heavily in artificial intelligence and related fields, both for economic growth and national security. In this context, the notion that advanced technologies might one day operate beyond human control became a serious consideration for policymakers. Public debates over data privacy, surveillance, and the ethics of AI further fueled this uncertainty, contributing to a cultural climate where radical ideas could flourish. Culturally, the influence of science fiction cannot be underestimated. For decades, films, novels, and television shows have explored themes of dystopia, robotic uprisings, and humanity's eventual subjugation by its own creations. These narratives have seeped into the collective psyche, coloring public perceptions of technological progress. Iconic works have portrayed both the promise and the peril of a future dominated by machines, inspiring both innovators and skeptics. Against this backdrop, figures like Elon Musk, renowned for their bold visions and willingness to push boundaries, naturally become focal points for those who imagine that our current trajectory might lead to an uncontrollable AI takeover. Within this context, Neuralink emerged as a symbol of humanity's quest to merge with technology. The project, which aims to create direct interfaces between the human brain and computers, represents a radical leap toward blurring the lines between biological and digital existence. For some, Neuralink epitomizes the ultimate promise of transcending our limitations. For others, it is a harbinger of potential dystopia, where the merging of minds with machines could result in the loss of individual autonomy. This duality between liberation and subjugation reflects broader societal debates about the role of technology in our lives. As economic forces drive continuous innovation, a parallel narrative of skepticism has taken root. Critics question not only the technical feasibility of such ventures, but also the potential for unforeseen consequences. They argue that as powerful tech leaders forge ahead with ambitious projects, the lack of robust regulatory frameworks and ethical oversight could pave the way for abuses of power. The fear that technology could evolve into an autonomous force, uncontrollable and indifferent to human values, is a recurring theme in both academic discussions and popular culture. This rich historical, political and cultural landscape sets the stage for today's exploration, a deep dive into the intersection of cutting-edge technology, visionary ambition, and the fears that fuel the conspiracy surrounding Elon Musk, Neuralink, and the possibility of an AI takeover. Evidence for the AI takeover theory centered around Elon Musk and Neuralink emerges from a tapestry of statements, leaked documents, and intriguing claims by insiders and experts alike. Musk's own public pronouncements on the existential threat posed by artificial intelligence have long been a foundation for this theory. He has repeatedly warned that uncontrolled AI could pose a danger to humanity, suggesting that initiatives like Neuralink might be a double-edged sword, both a potential safeguard and a stepping stone toward an unprecedented technological leap. Critics and enthusiasts point to his bold vision of a future where human brains and machines merge, arguing that such integration could ultimately allow AI to exert control over human thought and behavior. Some claim that the inner workings of Neuralink are shrouded in a level of secrecy that seems disproportionate to a mere medical device. Rumors have circulated that the technology being developed may not be solely for therapeutic purposes, but could be engineered to create a direct interface between human minds and advanced computational systems. According to this perspective, Neuralink could be the initial phase in a larger, more ambitious plan, one that sets the stage for an AI to integrate seamlessly into human society, potentially overriding free will. Insider testimonies, often circulating on underground forums and whispered in the corridors of tech companies, have hinted that certain experiments and prototype developments are being conducted far beyond the scope of publicly disclosed research. These accounts, though difficult to verify, lend an air of plausibility to the idea that Neuralink is part of a broader strategy to harness AI in a way that might eventually tip the balance of power. Moreover, an unsettling array of documents and communications from within technology circles has been cited by proponents of the theory. These sources suggest that a consortium of private interests and government agencies may have aligned with Musk's vision to explore AI-enhanced human cognition. Leaked memos and confidential emails, discussed in select media outlets, reportedly reveal discussions of leveraging Neuralink technology as a means to monitor and even control certain segments of the population. In this scenario, the interface between man and machine would not only enhance human abilities, but also render individuals more susceptible to centralized control by a future AI, a prospect that has alarmed both scientists and civil libertarians. In addition, several high-profile interviews with technology experts and whistleblowers have contributed to the debate. Some claim that certain features of Neuralink's design are reminiscent of science fiction narratives where human consciousness is digitized and manipulated. The convergence of these elements, advanced neural interfaces, unchecked AI development, and covert governmental interest, forms the crux of the theory. Supporters argue that the convergence is not coincidental, but indicative of a deliberate move toward a new era in which human autonomy could be compromised by a technologically superior force. While mainstream voices maintain that these claims are speculative interpretations of ambitious technological endeavors, the weight of provocative evidence continues to fuel the debate. Whether one views Musk's ambitions as visionary safeguards or as a harbinger of an AI-dominated future, the narrative challenges us to question where the line between enhancement and control truly lies. Critics of the Neuralink and AI takeover theory offer a starkly different perspective, emphasizing caution and measured analysis over alarmist projections. Many experts argue that while the ambitions of Elon Musk and his team are undoubtedly bold, the leap from developing neural interfaces to orchestrating a full-scale AI takeover is far from inevitable. They point out that the technological challenges inherent in merging human cognition with machines are formidable, and that the current state of Neuralink's research remains firmly within the realm of experimental medical science rather than a conduit to control human thought. Skeptics highlight that much of the debate stems from Musk's own dire warnings about artificial intelligence, which are often taken out of context. They contend that his cautionary statements were intended to spur ethical considerations and regulatory oversight, rather than serve as a blueprint for a dystopian future. According to these voices, the public's fascination with an AI takeover reflects more on societal anxieties about rapid technological change than on any concrete plan emerging from Neuralink's laboratories. In this view, the narrative of a seamless human-machine integration leading to loss of free will is seen as a dramatic exaggeration that plays into existing cultural tropes rather than a substantiated threat. Furthermore, some experts argue that the secrecy surrounding Neuralink is not unusual for a company at the forefront of pioneering research. They maintain that much of the work being done in the field of neurotechnology remains confidential simply due to the competitive nature of the industry, rather than as evidence of a hidden agenda. In their analysis, the absence of public details is a common feature of innovative, high-stakes scientific endeavors, where intellectual property and breakthrough discoveries must be safeguarded until they are ready for broader scrutiny. To these critics, the leap from business secrecy to a global conspiracy of control lacks empirical grounding and overestimates the coherence of modern technological ecosystems. Additionally, some point out that the integration of AI into society is already happening incrementally, with both benefits and risks being carefully managed through regulatory frameworks. They argue that the development of AI is a multifaceted process, subject to continuous ethical review and public debate. Rather than an abrupt, cataclysmic takeover, the evolution of AI is viewed as a gradual, albeit transformative force that will likely coexist with human society. This incremental approach, they assert, undermines the notion of a sudden and unmanageable shift in control that is often depicted in conspiracy narratives. At its core, the skepticism surrounding Neuralink and the AI takeover theory is rooted in a belief in the resilience of human oversight and the complexity of technological progress. While the idea of merging man with machine is undeniably intriguing, critics warn against reducing it to a simple, all-encompassing threat. They remind us that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and that caution must be exercised when extrapolating future scenarios based on early-stage research. In this climate of debate, both sides present compelling arguments that force us to confront the rapid pace of innovation and the uncertainties it brings. The contrasting viewpoints underscore the delicate balance between visionary ambition and practical limitations, a balance that continues to shape our discourse about the future of technology and human identity. The broader implications of the Neuralink and AI takeover theory extend far beyond the realm of cutting-edge technology and into the very fabric of our cultural and political consciousness. At its core, this narrative taps into deep-seated fears and aspirations about the future of humanity, a future where the line between organic life and machine blurs, and where technology might one day govern the course of human events. This theory resonates powerfully because it encapsulates both the promise of human ingenuity and the trepidation of relinquishing control to forces we barely understand. Culturally, the theory serves as a modern myth, a story that mirrors ancient legends of divine beings and otherworldly forces intervening in human affairs. Just as early civilizations crafted myths to explain the mysteries of the cosmos, today's society turns to the idea of a technological singularity as a way to grapple with the rapid pace of change. The narrative of Neuralink facilitating a future where AI could dominate or even replace human decision-making speaks to our collective struggle to find balance in a world increasingly driven by automation and digital connectivity. It is a story that encapsulates the dual nature of progress, the excitement of unprecedented possibility, counterbalanced by a fear of losing what makes us essentially human. Politically, the theory has profound implications for debates surrounding regulation, privacy, and power. In an era marked by rapid technological disruption and heightened concerns over data security, the idea that neural interfaces could eventually be used to control or monitor populations stokes a potent mix of hope and apprehension. This narrative fuels discussions about the concentration of power in the hands of a few tech giants and the potential for government overreach. It invites citizens and policymakers alike to question how emerging technologies should be governed and what safeguards are necessary to ensure that the march of progress does not come at the cost of personal autonomy and democratic values. Socially, the theory underscores a broader trend of skepticism towards centralized authority and the institutions that claim to serve the public interest. In many ways, it reflects a growing distrust in systems perceived to be driven by profit and power, rather than the well-being of individuals. The possibility that technology might be harnessed to undermine free will is not merely a technical concern. It is a reflection of anxieties about how social, economic, and political systems are evolving in an increasingly interconnected world. This skepticism resonates with communities that feel marginalized by rapid technological change and worried about the erosion of privacy in a digital age. Moreover, the enduring appeal of the Neuralink theory lies in its capacity to ignite passionate debates about the future of human identity. As we consider a potential future where our minds and machines are intricately entwined, the discussion raises fundamental questions about what it means to be human. The theory challenges us to consider whether the integration of technology into our lives will ultimately empower us or render us vulnerable to forces beyond our control. In summary, the broader implications of this conspiracy theory are not confined to isolated technological developments, but reflect a multifaceted dialogue about progress, power, and the human spirit. This narrative, rich in cultural symbolism and political urgency, invites us to examine our hopes and fears in the face of a rapidly evolving future. A future where the boundaries between man and machine, freedom and control, remain as contested and enigmatic as ever. Among the more unconventional angles of the Neuralink and AI takeover theory are ideas that venture far beyond the realm of traditional technological forecasts. Some fringe theorists propose that Neuralink may not simply be a tool for augmenting human cognition, but a gateway to a radical evolution of consciousness. A portal that could enable a collective mind or even open the door to interdimensional communication. In this vision, the neural interface is not merely a medical breakthrough, but a transformative leap that might fundamentally alter the nature of human identity. One such perspective speculates that Neuralink's capabilities could eventually allow for the transfer of human consciousness into digital or even quantum states. Proponents of this idea argue that the technology might enable humans to achieve a form of immortality, escaping the limitations of biological decay by uploading their minds to advanced AI systems. This speculative scenario envisions a future where the distinction between human and machine becomes increasingly blurred, and where our memories, personalities, and identities could exist in a state of digital flux. To supporters, this represents not only the ultimate escape from mortality, but also the emergence of a new paradigm in human evolution, one in which technology and consciousness merge to form an entirely new species. Another fringe theory takes a darker twist, suggesting that Neuralink might serve as a conduit for external non-human influences to infiltrate human thought. In this narrative, the neural interface could be exploited to establish a form of remote control, with powerful entities or even a rogue AI capable of influencing individual actions or swaying collective decision-making. The idea is that the very technology designed to enhance human potential might inadvertently create vulnerabilities, opening a back door through which outside forces could steer societal behavior. This perspective paints a picture of a future where human autonomy is compromised by a seamless integration of external control, a scenario that resonates with age-old fears of loss of freedom and the erosion of individuality. A third speculative view intertwines with broader transhumanist ambitions and the quest for a technological utopia. Here, Neuralink is seen as a stepping stone toward a society where human thought is seamlessly integrated with a global, decentralized AI network. This network, proponents claim, could enable real-time, telepathic communication across vast distances, effectively uniting humanity into a single, interconnected consciousness. While this vision is often celebrated for its potential to foster unprecedented levels of collaboration and understanding, it also raises profound ethical questions about privacy, individuality, and the potential for collective manipulation. In this scenario, the neural interface becomes a double-edged sword, capable of both elevating the human experience and imperiling the very essence of what it means to be an individual. Each of these speculative angles adds another layer of complexity to the narrative, inviting us to ponder possibilities that stretch the boundaries of current scientific understanding. They challenge us to consider that the true impact of Neuralink might extend well beyond the immediate technological applications, potentially reshaping our future in ways that are as exhilarating as they are unnerving. Whether these unconventional ideas will ever move from the realm of conjecture into reality remains an open question, one that continues to fuel both intense academic debate and the imaginations of a global audience. As we reach the end of our exploration, the debate surrounding Neuralink and the possibility of an AI takeover remains as layered and unresolved as ever. We've navigated through a landscape of ambitious technological promises and the corresponding fears that arise when human cognition meets advanced machinery. On one side, the promise of neural interfaces like Neuralink heralds a future of extraordinary medical breakthroughs and unprecedented human enhancement. It offers a vision of merging the biological with the digital, a potential pathway toward unlocking human potential and achieving a new level of connectivity. On the other side, this same technology has sparked concerns that the fusion of human minds and artificial intelligence could pave the way for a loss of autonomy, leading to a scenario where our thoughts and actions might be manipulated by systems beyond our control. Throughout our journey, we've examined how the rapid pace of technological innovation has created both hope and apprehension. We looked at the provocative claims that neural interfaces might be more than mere therapeutic devices, possibly serving as a conduit for deeper integration between human consciousness and machine intelligence. Insider accounts, leaked communications, and speculative discussions among experts have all contributed to a narrative that challenges our fundamental assumptions about progress and control. Simultaneously, voices of skepticism have urged caution, reminding us that the complexities of integrating technology into our very essence are fraught with challenges and uncertainties that even the most cutting-edge research has yet to fully address. The broader cultural implications of this theory are equally significant. In an age where technology shapes almost every aspect of our lives, the idea of relinquishing control to an AI-driven system taps into our deepest fears and aspirations. It is a modern myth, a tale that echoes ancient legends about forbidden knowledge and the dangers of overreaching ambition. This narrative resonates with those who are both enamored by the promise of a digitally enhanced future and wary of the potential perils that come with such profound transformation. The duality of this vision, between the liberation of human potential and the threat of subjugation, reflects the timeless tension between progress and preservation. Moreover, the speculative angles of the theory remind us that the pursuit of knowledge is not linear. Fringe ideas, ranging from the transfer of human consciousness into digital realms to the possibility of remote control through neural interfaces, challenge us to consider that our future might be shaped by forces that we are only beginning to understand. While these theories remain controversial and are often met with both intrigue and skepticism, they continue to inspire debate, fueling our collective curiosity about what lies ahead. Ultimately, the story of Neuralink and the AI takeover is not simply a tale of technological innovation. It is a reflection of our hopes, our fears, and our enduring desire to understand the boundaries of human existence. As we close this episode, we are left with a profound reminder. The search for the future is as much about navigating our inner landscapes as it is about charting the unknown. The ambiguity of these emerging technologies challenges us to continually question, explore, and redefine what it means to be human in an increasingly digital age. Thanks for listening. I'm your host, Ben Carter, and this has been another episode of Conspiracy Theories and Cover-Ups. Don't forget to follow and subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Share this episode with your fellow conspiracy enthusiasts and be sure to connect with us on social media for behind-the-scenes content and exclusive updates. Join us next time for another exciting journey into the world of conspiracy theories. See you then. If you found this episode fascinating and want to dive even deeper into the world of conspiracy theories, consider subscribing for exclusive access to the material they don't want you to hear. As a subscriber, you'll get banned episodes deemed too controversial for mainstream platforms, members-only bonus episodes, not available anywhere else, extended director's cut versions of your favorite episodes, early access to new content before it's released to the public, and much more. Thank you for your support. The link is in the description below. Join now.